What's going on? Hey, it's Blake. Welcome to my channel and the video. I'm also Forex money flipper with 10 talents trading. Today we're going to be talking about DBR. Don't be reckless. It's going to be a quick video. So anyways, but yeah, don't be reckless. So I just want to use a couple analogies here. So an infantryman in the military only carries a certain amount of ammo. So they have a set amount of ammo that they carry. You know, this could be a standard amount of ammo per soldier per what do you call? Of course, I was never in the military, but you know they have a certain protocol, right? A certain they tell okay, this is what you're gonna do, this is what you're gonna carry, and that and that and that, and they have a way of doing things, right? So I mean, he's not just gonna go out there and carry just like however many rounds he wants to, right? He's got to. There's a chain of command, right? So the guy who's in charge of his platoon or whatever is going to tell his platoon leader, okay, you guys are going to do this, and then the platoon leader is going to tell his squad leaders, okay, you guys are going to do this, and then the squad leaders are going to tell the fire team leaders, okay, you guys are going to do this, and then the fire team leaders are going to tell the his 4 or 8 men that this is what you're going to do, right? And so they have a certain amount of ammo that they're going to carry because they have to take into consideration the distance that they're going to be traveling, how long they're going to be out there, how many enemy may be in the area, and whatever. So anyway, the point is they have a certain amount of ammo that they carry, right? With a certain amount of ammo that carries with him, right? Because there should not be any women in war. So you can hate on me for that, but that's fine. That's what the Bible basically, you know, just it's a war is a men's activity. Okay, so anyway, women are supposed to be guiding the house, taking care of the children, and the food, and the house, and all that stuff. So and the cleaning and all that. So anyway, call me chauvinist. Hey, I'm just a Bible believer, King James only. All right, but now we get even more specific to say a sniper carries way less ammo because his sniper bullets are so heavy. Okay, and the reason that I'm using this analogy is to say, I'll get into that in a second, but yeah, a sniper only is going to carry a very small amount of ammo, right? So he's got to be very careful with those rounds. Obviously, he's going to have a support team who's going to be infantrymen, or you know, obviously he's going to have a spotter. So. But usually it's not just, you know, these days it's not just a spotter and a sniper. They usually have a support team, which may be like a fire team or a squad or even maybe a platoon. I don't know. But the point is the actual sniper only is going to carry, you know, I don't know however many exact rounds they carry, but it's not that many, right? So you have to think, what kind of trader do we want to be? Do we want to be an infantryman with like a saw gunner, you know? And just, you know, spray and pray and all that, and not really know what they're, you know, what they're shooting at. I mean, obviously they know, but you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, all right? So, you know, usually the saw gunner is like for suppressive fire and that stuff, and then you have, you know, your riflemen, and then you have your designated riflemen, which have more accuracy, maybe a little bit heavier round that might reach out and touch the bad guys. But so, you know, do we want to be one of those guys or do we want to be a sniper, right? And so, what's my point? My point is just to give you a nice analogy, something that you can kind of wrap your head around to ask the question of what kind of trader do we want to be, right? So, I think, you know, the smartest way as far as being responsible with your money is to be a sniper when it comes to trading, right? So we're looking for good entries, right? But we're not looking for a lot of entries, right? And that really kind of hits home to my point of what I'm trying to say is we're not looking to just enter wherever. And you know, it is tempting. Like, you know, you get on the charts and like the charts are moving and the price is moving and everything like that, and you want to get in, you want to make money. But then what happens is you end up not getting a good entry because you didn't wait, and you know, and even if you wait, the entry might not work out, but at least you know your risk will be low and your probability will be high that it will be a good win, a good risk to reward. And we have the luxury in Forex specifically of having lots of different trades to pairs to trade. And if you're trading stocks, you have a lot of different things. But like somebody who's just trading like indices or something like that, you don't have as much. But there's just a lot of stuff to trade, right? So there are just endless possibilities of. You have so many forex pairs. You have so many. If you're versatile, you also trade stocks. You got so many stocks to trade and all that. So, and the technical analysis is the same, and the fundamental analysis is really where it differs. But with between forex and even indices and like stocks, right? Because most of the obviously the major pairs are tied heavily to the dollar, but also to the indices and are tied heavily to the dollar. But really the indices are tied to the stock market. So let me just stop it there. But anyway, there's some correlations you can find. But yeah, and then the fundamentals are going to be different on the stock market. But what am I saying? I'm saying that what we want to do is we want to realize, okay, well, I've got $100 in my account. This is what I'm starting with, or whatever you're starting with. I've got $10 in my account, or $50 in my account, or whatever, and like that's our ammo, right? So we want to say, all right, well, I'm gonna risk $5 on this trade, right? So you don't think of your bullets as like $5, right, or $10 or whatever you're risking, right? So every time a sniper shoots his bullet, he's spinning around of ammo, right? And he may not hit his target. Now, if he's a good sniper, he will. But there's no guarantee with all the factors, the wind and everything. It might take him a couple of shots to get his target. Hopefully he's well trained, and usually they always are. But my point is, obviously, we want to think about if I have let's say 100, let's say even, let's just call it like a $50 account, right? Let's say I have a $50 account. Well, let's say what do I want to risk? Well, they always tell you to risk 1% or 2%, at the most, and then you see people risking like 3% or whatever, and then you got people who just risk whatever and they don't really care, they just go ham and all that. But if you want to be smart, you want to stay in the game long term, and you only have a small amount of capital, and you want to really like you're a soldier or a marine or a sailor going into battle, because the Navy has infantrymen also. Navy SEALs, and they have boat teams and whatever. But anyway, so my point is that you want to think, okay, I'm going into battle. This is all the ammo that I have for this day, or this week, or whatever. So I have $50 in my account. Okay, well, I'm going to be risking $5 a trade. So you're going to put that into your calculator of your position size and all that stuff. So you're going to figure that out. Okay, well, this is my stop. This certain amount of pips, and then this is how much I want to risk, and then okay, this is going to be my lot size, and that's the purpose of a lot size calculator. All right, so we're going off to battle, and we're not going to be picked up, evac'd or exfilled for like till the next day, right? If we're lucky and we survive the battle, right? If we're smart, right, and lucky and smart and all that, and if we have support. But anyway, so we're saying, all right, so if I'm going to be risking $5 a trade. Okay, I have, 10 shots, right? Boom, 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 for the day, right? So you take an entry, it doesn't work out. You lost $5. You take another entry, it works out, so you make, $15. 3 times your money, right? So you get, cool. So I take another trade, and this is if you're taking like a lot of trades if you're scalping, right? So you may want to say, well, I'm going to risk $10 a trade, and I'm only going to look for like maximum 5 entries. If I don't, nothing happens, then I'm done, right? So you want to think like something like that, and you might just say, well, I got a $50 account, but I'm only going to take 3 entries, right? So you don't blow all your ammo just in case a really good opportunity comes up later that day or something like that. So you have your limit set at $50 a day, being disciplined and structured and saying, okay, so this is going to be my plan, my part of my trading plan, and I got $50 worth of ammo, and I'm going to be risking $10 per shot. And then so you say, all right, well, I'm going to wait for a really good entry. So a sniper does what? He waits. He covers himself in the foliage and the ghillie suit and the foliage and all that stuff, and he sits still and he doesn't move, and he pees, in a bottle or whatever, and he doesn't poop, these kinds of things. So he's sitting there, laying there, and he may be laying there for all day long, maybe laying there for days. waiting for his high value target to show up and get a positive ID and all that stuff, because he goes out there for a very specific job. Usually, not always. Sometimes in combat, the sniper is there to provide support, to provide covering fire, to provide this, that, and the other thing. But let's just use whatever we can to relate it to Forex. So Forex, we're looking for a trade every day. Does that mean that there is a good trade every day? If you're like married to one pair, if you're just only trading one pair, then no, there's not going to be a trade or a good trade every day, right? Because some days you're just going to be in consolidation for days, sometimes, and so you have to be able to be versatile and read. You need to be able to look at any chart, start from high time frame, work your way down, and find a trade, or not, like depending on, because it may not be your analysis might be like, well, we're waiting for a price to get here, we're gonna look for an opportunity, but that might not happen for a few days. So then you might not deploy, right? Because what does the military do? They do intelligence first, right? They put the drones up and the spy planes and the whatever and the satellite images, and they do reconnaissance, and they have intelligence people on the ground, undercover or whatever. They also have those informants, or what do they call them in the military? I forget. Maybe it's an informant, but anyway, they call them something, and they gather intelligence and they feed it back. And so you have these officers that are in there, and they're pouring over the intel, and they're saying, okay, we think that our target is going to be in this area on this day doing such thing or whatever, and then they'll wait and deploy the sniper like the day before or the night before or whatever, right? And so that's us, right? So we wanna look, analyze, gather intelligence on different pairs, right? So saying this pair is going to be in this, so you set your alerts, right? So you wait for the pair to do the thing that you want it to do, or if it goes up or down, say it's in a consolidation, you're waiting for a breakout, boom, you put your alerts at the top and bottom and wait for a breakout and find out what you're going to do and go from there, right? But the point is that you're waiting on your opportunity and you're not deploying until that opportunity presents itself. So when your alert goes off, or when price gets into a certain area of interest, a point of interest, right? And then so once it does, then you're like, okay, let's get on the ground and let's watch this thing and let's see what happens. And that's when you're actually on the charts. So you're the sniper in the bushes, in the grass, wherever, in the trees, wherever, in the building, on the rooftop, wherever, and you're there and you're watching and you're waiting for that opportunity in that moment. And then when the moment is right, you strike, but you have prepared, because the sniper does what? He prepares, he knows the wind, and the spotter's job, is to like, okay, the wind is doing this, and this is the distance, because he's got these big scope and he can see. So he tells the sniper whatever, he's like, okay, wind 5 miles an hour east northeast or whatever, and then he's like 500 meters or 557, whatever the number of meters, I don't know, the number just made that up, but and then he's like, elevation X, or this is the drop that you can expect and all that. And the sniper has done so much training with the spotter, with a different spotter, or just with a spotter, that he's able to say, okay, and he adjusts his scope, right? And so what is that for us? That is like, we're adjusting our lot size depending on our stop loss, depending on how much we want to risk per trade, right? So we're adjusting all that, we're getting it ready, and then boom, we take our entry, and it either works or it doesn't, right? And then if it doesn't, then what do? What happens if the sniper misses his target? Well, he either takes another shot, or his cover's blown and he gets out of there, right? And so if you miss your trade, that's kind of something that's going to be up to you, what you want to do with that, reevaluate and stuff like that. But what you don't want to be doing, what the sniper doesn't do, is he doesn't take his shot and miss, and then the guy runs away, and he's like, oh, I don't have a shot anymore, and they're on to me. He doesn't just get up out of his sniper hide and run down there, because there's usually a lot of guys down there or wherever, and there's only a small sniper team with maybe a small support team, maybe some air support. But anyway, usually they don't just go and rush in and say, okay, let me just do the job of a ranger battalion, or something like that. I usually get out of there, readjust, reevaluate, and then try again or something like that. So anyway, that's all I got. I want to make this a short video. I don't know how long we are. I can't see the time because I'm facing the camera a different way. I usually watch myself when I'm talking, but this time I'm not. So because I want to try to see if I can make a little bit clearer video for y'all. So, but hopefully this makes sense. And so look, don't be reckless, okay? Look, infantrymen are not reckless. The ones that survive, you know, but they're highly trained. All of them. Any branch that you go to, even you know, obviously, you know, the Army is a great branch, but even the basic, you know, in basic training, they learn discipline, right? So even people who are just a cook or just a whatever, an admin or you know something like that, a medic or whatever. Well, medics are especially even a little bit more because they're out there with the guys in the field, right? So. But, you know, these guys are highly trained, so they're not just going to be reckless, right? They're not going to be reckless, okay? And a sniper is like the opposite of reckless, okay? Best believe, all right? They're very careful, very meticulous, okay? So the whole subject is don't be reckless. Don't just be clicking and just, okay, I'm going to take this trade. Okay, I think it's going to go up. Okay, I think it's going to go down. Okay, well, I mean, even if you have your analysis on there and you're like, and you just still, you can still be reckless. Even with great analysis, you can have the best analysis in the world and you can be right on fundamentals and you can be right on your analysis and you can be even, you know where you need to get in and out and stuff. But if you're reckless and you're just impatient and you get in too early, you're like, well, you know, I think price is going to get down here and do this certain thing. But, you know, but I'm not sure right now, but I think it's going to go down there. So I'm just going to get in and see what happens. It's like, that's like a big no. Because, I mean, believe me, that was like my attitude. And it didn't work for me. And it's not going to work for anybody else. So, unless you're just the luckiest person in the world, then whatever. But anyway, this is my video. So hopefully this makes sense to y'all. And what we need to do is just be more careful. Don't be reckless. We need to be, you know, we need to be like a sniper, like a highly trained sniper from any branch of the military. It doesn't matter. They're all highly and well trained, and we need to carefully prepare. We need to gather intelligence. We need to. I actually made a meme of this. Maybe I'll post a link in the description to the meme that I made for this. I made the meme a long time ago. But anyway, so we need to collect intelligence on different pairs, different opportunities, right? Because the military doesn't just have one high-value target. Remember in the Iraq War, the second Iraq War, OIF, Operation Iraqi Freedom, they had a whole deck of cards. It was like all people that they were going after, right? Saddam Hussein was like the ace of spades, and then they had all his lieutenants, and then they had all the smaller guys, and that whole 52-card deck was full of like high-value targets, right? So the military doesn't just go after one person, right? That would be foolish, right? So they have, you know, but let's use that case scenario, Operation Iraqi Freedom, they had like 52 guys, more than that, I'm sure, a lot more, I'm sure. But those were like the 52 highest value targets that they had. And it's like those, because they're going to present at different times, right? And it's the same thing in the Forex market. Opportunities are going to present themselves at different times. And we got to be ready when the time presents itself. The same military does the same thing. They have their intelligence. When the opportunity presents itself, then these guys get the call and they go out, and when the time is right, they do their operation, and they're prepared, they're well trained, they're highly trained, they know what to do. And for us, being highly trained is knowing how to chart, and then knowing how to be patient, and then also knowing how to place trades properly with the proper position size, and also, you know, the proper stop loss and multiple take profit levels, and then making sure that you know, we're knowing how much we're risking and that we're managing our risk, we're managing our money, and you know, these guys manage their risk. I mean, that is what they do. I mean, that is like the name of the game. You know, obviously their offense, but they also have their defense too, and so that's the same thing with us. You know, yeah, the best, let's say the best offense is a good defense, or the best defense is a good offense, whatever. But anyway, the point is, you could always find something to fit what you're trying to say, but yeah, the point is that we need to protect our capital, preserve precious capital. We also need to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves when they present themselves, and we need to not be reckless. We need to be very careful, very diligent, and very patient, and we just need to accept the fact that we're not going to catch every pip. Just like these guys aren't going to catch every bad guy. They're not trying to catch every bad guy. How many bad guys do you think are in an area whenever these guys are going after their one high value target? Tons of bad guys, right? And so each one of those bad guys could represent pips, a different amount of pips depending on how much high ranking they are. You got one, the highest value target in that area, and then you've got like 2 or 3 other guys that are a little bit less higher value, you know, and so that would, you could think of that in terms of pips. But these guys are going after the highest value target, which for us would be the highest pip move of that day or that week or whatever, depending on how you're trading. If you're trading more of like scalping or swing trading and intraday trading, or like, you know, you're trying to take maybe you're trying to take multiple trades in a day or multiple trades in a week or just one trade a week or whatever you're trying to do, whatever your objective. But, you know, we're going after the highest reward for the lowest risk, depending on what your trade style is. And obviously you can scale that down for intraday trading, for scalping, or scale it out. You know, smaller amount of pips on your scalping intraday, and then a larger amount of pips on like your swing trades, like your weekly trades or whatever. If you're just doing like one trade a week or 1 or 2 or 3 trades a week or whatever, or, you know, 1 trade a month or whatever you're trying to do, whatever your scope, whatever your scale is, this works for that. So hopefully this will help you kind of wrap your mind around this concept, and hopefully it helps you become a better trader. And yeah, so thanks so much for watching. My name is Blake, aka Forex Money Flipper with 10 Talents Trading. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. I hope this helped.